So picture this. Everyone's out here trying to launch their products, making mistakes here and there. It happens. Even the biggest names fumble. But Meghan Markle? Oh no, this wasn't a little stumble. What she just pulled off was a full-blown, jaw-dropping PR train wreck. We're talking the kind of disaster people will be gossiping about for years. She tried to step into her so-called businesswoman era, and instead, she gave us tomato sauce jam, a flop of a show, and a Bloomberg interview so awkward it could be used as a case study in how not to do PR. And here's the kicker. Meghan doesn't think she's the problem. Nope, not the products, not the lies, not the bizarre rollout. She thinks we're the problem. Can you believe that? Let's start with the infamous Bloomberg interview because, honestly, that's where it all began to unravel. The title sounded so serious. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, on life and business beyond the royal spotlight. You'd expect a sharp, seasoned entrepreneur to walk us through her battles, her strategies, her triumphs, right? Wrong. What we got instead was recycled fluff. The same childhood dish soap story we've all heard a million times. A random rant about pantyhose and some painfully fake, relatable lines. Business? Nowhere in sight. Strategy? Missing. Numbers? Non-existent. Just Meghan trying to play CEO without showing she knows a single thing about business. And oh, when it came to sales, she dodged like her life depended on it. Instead of facts, she threw out vague lines like, "We went from a few thousand units to a million." A million what, Meghan? Produced? Labeled? Imaginary? Because unless she's hiding a warehouse stacked with unsold jars, none of it adds up. Especially when critics say the jam doesn't even taste like jam. More like sad, watery ketchup in fancy packaging, and she's bold enough to slap a $9 price tag on it? $9? For a spread nobody asked for. That's not business innovation, that's delusion with free shipping. But wait, it gets messier. Meghan didn't just drop this jam. Oh no, she went all in. Same day, same moment, she launched her With Love, Meghan Show, the Bloomberg feature, and teased more products, all at once. No build-up, no momentum, no smart marketing, just a chaotic pile of PR stunts crammed together. Why? People say she did it to bury the negative reviews. Think about it. The show was already tanking, critics were dragging it through the mud, so the strategy was to flood the timeline with Meghan content. Throw enough glitter around and maybe people won't notice the cracks. Classic distraction move, only problem? It didn't work. The show still flopped. The reviews were brutal. Even her excuse, "We know our audience, people love it," sounded sad. Not defiant, not strong, just sad. Like, Meghan, Nielsen ratings and Rotten Tomatoes don't lie. If people loved it, they'd actually watch it. And let's talk about that whole "I'm a real person" speech she gave. Because wow, instead of admitting she's made mistakes, instead of owning up to why people see her the way they do, she blames it on the media. According to Meghan, it's not her being criticized, it's this fake media-created version of her. Excuse me? Oprah interview? Netflix doc? The courtroom apology for lying? All of that was the media's fault too? Watching her say this is like watching someone crash a car and then scream at the mirror for showing them the wreck. See, that's Meghan's never-ending contradiction. On one side, she clings to the Duchess title, soaking up the prestige, the branding, the gravitas. On the other, she's desperate to look like the cool mom next door, the grounded entrepreneur hustling from her Montecito kitchen. And when someone dares to ask if being a Duchess makes her less relatable, she brushes it off like the question is stupid. But come on, of course it makes her less relatable. How can it not? Most people don't have private chefs, stylists, PR teams, or staff handling everything behind the scenes. Pretending none of that matters while trying to be one of us isn't relatable. It's insulting. People are out here figuring out how to pay rent, and Meghan's idea of authenticity is retelling a dish soap story from the 90s, please. And let's not forget the jam again, her so-called hero product. Meghan teased it for over a year, posting cryptic hints, stirring curiosity, playing the mysterious entrepreneur, and when the big reveal came, a watery spread with confusing labels that doesn't even meet basic jam standards. People bought it at first, yes, but only out of curiosity, mostly journalists, influencers, and critics who wanted to review it. That wasn't real demand, it was media noise. And surprise, surprise, now the novelty is gone and so are the buyers. Sales are stalling, which is exactly why she dodges questions about numbers. Here's the part that makes it even worse. Meghan built her entire public brand on being authentic and speaking her truth. She's been loud about integrity, mental health, advocacy, yet here she is, pushing her products on Instagram, the same platform she and Harry once trashed. Remember when they criticized Meta for harming kids and spreading misinformation? Oh yes, they condemned the platform in official statements. And now, Meghan's back, using Instagram as her marketing stage. So which is it? Is it evil or is it profitable? Because right now, it looks like whichever side pays better wins. That's the real problem with Meghan's image. No consistency, no clear values. She wants the Duchess glow without royal duties, the business badge without actual business grind, the influencer fame without accountability, and people are catching on. They're not buying the jam, and they're not buying the act either. Now here's where things get even more jaw-dropping. Meghan loves to throw around this line. I'm a real person. She repeats it like it's some magical shield that's supposed to silence all criticism, but being real doesn't automatically make you relatable, and it definitely doesn't make you right. You don't earn people's trust by reminding them you exist. You earn it by owning your mistakes. And Meghan, she couldn't bring herself to do that. This Bloomberg interview could have been her moment to finally say, yes, I got it wrong. I'm learning. I'm evolving. That would have resonated. That would have shown humility. Instead, we got the same rehearsed victim routine, the same woe is me, the media twisted everything story, the same act where she paints herself as misunderstood while ignoring the receipts. And let's be honest, people remember the receipts. They remember the Oprah interview, the shady timelines, the vague accusations, the way family members and palace staff were dragged through the mud without proof. They remember the Netflix doc, the endless contradictions, the attempts to spin narratives while cashing in on royal drama. They remember the courtroom lies she had to apologize for. This isn't about the media version of Meghan. This is about Meghan's own words and actions. She's not being misrepresented, she's being held accountable, and that's exactly what she can't stand. See, Meghan and Harry built their entire brand on telling their truth. But the second that truth is challenged, the second people push back, suddenly it's everyone else's fault. The press, the royals, the patriarchy, the public. It's always someone else, never them. Never the fact that they've smeared people, lied, manipulated, all without ever saying sorry. That's why people don't buy the act anymore. It's exhausting. The public isn't cruel, they're tired of the performance. And here's the brutal irony. Meghan talks so much about the emotional toll of being misunderstood. She says she feels crushed when her friends read headlines about her. She says it hurts to go to school pickup under the weight of gossip. But where's that empathy for the real people she's hurt? Where's the compassion for the palace aides she accused of racism? For the journalists she branded as biased? For the family members she painted as cold and cruel? Meghan wants grace, empathy, and forgiveness, but she doesn't extend it. She wants understanding without accountability. And that, right there, is why the brand isn't landing. Then add the hypocrisy of her marketing. Meghan once slammed Instagram, slammed Meta, slammed the toxicity of social platforms. But the moment she needed eyeballs, suddenly Instagram's her best friend. Suddenly she's back on the very stage she said was harmful to kids and society. So again, what is it? Are these platforms dangerous? Or are they the perfect place to sell overpriced jam? Because right now, it looks like Meghan's values shift depending on what lines her pockets. And that's the heart of the problem. Meghan wants it all: royal prestige, business credibility, influencer clout, but without the accountability that comes with any of those roles. She wants to be untouchable, but in today's world, that doesn't fly. People see through it. They see the contradictions, they see the denial, and they're done being fooled. This isn't about hating a successful woman, it's about not tolerating fakery anymore. So here's where we land. Meghan Markle had a chance, a huge one, a Bloomberg spotlight, a platform to reinvent herself as a serious entrepreneur, to finally move the conversation away from royal drama. And she blew it. Instead of growth, we got excuses. Instead of humility, we got victimhood. Instead of strategy, we got ketchup jam and a recycled childhood story. And now, people aren't just questioning the products, they're questioning her entire brand, because at the end of the day, Meghan keeps asking us to see her as a real person. But being real isn't enough when everything around you feels staged. Being real isn't enough when you refuse to own your past. Being real isn't enough when your words and actions clash at every turn. The truth? Meghan Markle isn't being punished for success. She's being rejected for the performance. And until she realizes that, every product launch, every interview, every show will end the same way: chaos, criticism, and fallout.